Hi guys, Olamide is here. Today we're going to be talking about imposter syndrome. Um and it's something that I love people struggle with. I struggle with it sometimes, And while I was trying to prepare for this video, I did a just quick research on it, and I realized that of course I'm not alone. I also realized that a lot of high achieving people who, achieve, who consider themselves as high achievers or who have had like good careers, you know, actually struggle with this. And so there are times the kind of person I am, and I don't know if it's a good thing, but when I hit a milestone or when I set a goal and I achieve it, I was like, oh, okay, that's good. What's the next thing? I don't take my time to soak it in or to dwell in that, atmosphere of winning. And, and I'm already thinking about what is next. So I'm hoping that you guys would respond. How does one deal with imposter syndrome? Do you also experience this when you achieve something or when you're trying to maybe get something done or put in for something that is important? You self doubt yourself. I realized from just a few research that I did today, and of course, I've known this all the while, that it is there are four factors that can contribute to imposter syndrome. The first is anxiety. Um, I see that sometimes when I want to do something, I am very anxious, even though I believe in myself. Like, oh, you can run this now. Yeah, you can do this. Or when someone calls me for a job or for something I know that I'm very good at, the first thing that comes to mind is self-doubting myself. What if you can't do it enough? What if you can't do it at all? What if they don't like it? What if you're just overhyped? What if that is not the case with you? And that goes on so much in my head, and I'm like, okay, what if I'm just all talks and no action? So anxiety is one of the things that can affect, for me, I feel like, okay, imposter syndrome, that can make you feel or doubt yourself. Again, self-doubt, maybe from self-doubt from the past or from situations that you have been in. And I'm thinking back like, okay, I think there have been situations where I've been doubted. I've been like, oh, if you can't do it, and probably that has registered something in my head to say there's nothing you do that can be enough. But I try to talk myself like, you can do it, Lammy Lambs, you can do it. There's no one that can do it more than you. But sometimes that's not enough. um Possibly if I'm putting in a job application, I'm just overthinking things like, are you sure all these things written in my CV, did I really achieve them, even though I know that I achieved them. And then there's this bit of perfectionism when you I think I'm not a perfectionist. I don't consider myself, but I like to check and check and check and check and check. And then when you're checking these things again and again and again, you're like, okay, I think I've seen so many mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, even though I tell people that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay not for things not to be perfect, but sometimes it's not. I don't preach. I don't act what I preach. I don't do what I preach. So I think another thing that I feel that the fourth factor is the fear of failure. People say, oh, if you have tasted success, you'd not want to fail. But I think the fear of failure, I do not want to fail. Failure, even though if I fail at some things, I try to pick myself up again. But failing is not something that I really want to do. I'm sure a lot of people are afraid of failing. The fear of failure is big, and you just try to self doubt yourself, like, what if I fail? What if I don't bounce back? Another thing that I think that affects, when of course, you look at your friends or your acquaintances, people you started your career together, or who you built career with, or you have worked it, and you're seeing the projection of their life. It looks like they're moving on a fast train, and it looks like you're stagnant, and it looks like nothing is working for you. And you're just like, okay, am I doing the right thing? And then you look back at your career, maybe like 5, 6, 10 years ago, you see how much things that you achieved in those times, and comparing it to where you're at now, those things can actually make oneself doubt. And as I'm reflecting about 2025, I'm just thinking about what about the role imposter syndrome has played, maybe in my life up until now, or I mean particularly this year. Um so I haven't been on YouTube a lot for the past 2 years since I moved to the UK. And I'm thinking, okay, each time I want to come back to YouTube, I'm like, okay, can I still make videos? Am I still able to talk like I used to? Am I still able to get the views that I used to get back in the days? Am I still able to start again? Look at the people who we started YouTube together. Oh, they're monetizing their pages, their platforms now. They're monetizing, they're doing better, they're having deals. And then I'm just trying to start again like a new creator. So I'm thinking about all the things that would not work instead of focusing on, okay, I have new knowledge now. I have so much to share. I've got more experience. Yeah, all the other things I don't have can be worked on, you know instead of talking to myself to say, you know what, yeah, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be rusty in the first maybe few days or few months when you're back. You may not see all the views, but there are other channels that you can post and repurpose your videos to. And, so those are things. And one thing that I do sometimes to help me when I'm in that imposter syndrome mode is to actually go back to the things that I've achieved, look at, go back to the past to say, you did this, you actually really did this stuff. You managed this X and X project and you succeeded. You did this, you did it. You worked with this FMCG and you really aced it. So when I do that and I share it and I'm like, okay, the pride is coming back. The confidence that I need is coming back. So as we go into 2024, I don't know. This video has no beginning. I don't think there's a conclusion. It's just me thinking aloud to say, okay, I must not be the only one struggling with this. I don't think it's a struggle. I also think it's a struggle, but I feel like there are people who are doing so much in their careers, who are achieving, but there's this thing in their mind to say, you're not doing enough. This was you, like, you achieved this like 10, 15 years ago. What are you doing now? How are you achieving? How do you achieve? Look at your mates. They've gone on to buy cars, they have built houses, they've built beautiful careers in conglomerates, working with big corporations, but you're here. You know, how do you deal with that? And I think that one of the things that will help me is, speaking out about it and you know, looking at it going into the new year to say, okay, this is where I am, acknowledging where I am, acknowledging my current situation, acknowledging the things that, number one, acknowledging the feeling that yes, it's okay to feel this way sometimes. But what is not okay is for me to dwell in the fact that I'm not doing enough. The other thing that I'm acknowledging is to reframe the thoughts when the thoughts come, like, yes, you're not doing enough. But and then reframe them to say, if I could do them 5 years ago, if I could do them 6 years ago, then I can do them now and I can replicate them again. It may take a while, it may not be as easy, but I am going to do them again. Okay. So that's one of the things that I've then. Number three is, usually I don't compare myself to people. I really do not compare myself to anyone. But there are times where human, And then you see an update from someone that you know, and you're like, wow. And then you start analyzing your life, like, okay, this person did this, and I'm still here. But what of, I don't compare myself to anyone, no matter what. I wish everyone well, but sometimes we're just human. So one of the things I've done is that I'm going to try to focus on this coming year is to do less of comparison, or yeah, I got this, that one got that, so do less of that. And number 5 is what I'm going to do, you know is to talk about it more to people, because I appear confident, because I'm confident, not appear. I am confident. It looks like I know what I want. A lot of people don't believe when I say, come on, sometimes I struggle with self doubt. They're like, "Ah, you know." But one thing I've learned to do that maybe I'm going to do going forward is talk about it, ask other people, like I'm talking about it now, who are probably going through the same experience or who have experienced it. How do they deal with it? Of course, I'm a Christian and I believe in confession. Even if you're not a Christian, and and you believe in confessing and saying the right things to yourself every day, it wells up confidence in you and it motivates you to do better. So that's another thing. Um, setting realistic goals is another thing that I going to do. Sometimes we set goals, I'm a marketer, I work in marketing. And one thing that we always say when you're setting goals or building anything is for them to be SMART goals. They are, specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time bound. I shouldn't set goals I know that I can't achieve in 5 years and saying that I'm going to achieve it by faith in 1 year. Of course, there's the faith factor, but other times you need to be really, really, really sincere with yourself. So that's something I want to do. And I think, um, lastly, another thing that I think I'm going to do going forward is to take action, even when I feel that I don't qualify for this job, or even if I think I don't qualify for that opportunity, I'm going to give it a shot. There can be only two answers. It's either a yes or a no. So if it's a yes, I know that I have done my best. If it is a no, I know that I have to try again. So, in conclusion, as we go into the new year, and as you're analyzing and reflecting on what you have achieved so far, just have it in your mind. Just, and if you struggle with, comparing yourself, self doubt, anxiety, I mean, if you need to seek professional help, please do. I'm not a professional counselor, but I'm just sharing what I'm going to do for myself, and I'm hoping that this has been a good. I can't say it's a ranting session. It's just me being open minded and thinking aloud, and just thought to share. Make sure you have an amazing rest of your day wherever you're watching from.